Alright, so my battery died, but I put the carb back on. What it was a little piece of screen from the new screen filter I put on was stuck in the needle and float area, so I just pulled that out. I cleaned it again, but it's running great now. I'll fire it up. The starter still drags a little bit, so I'm not exactly sure if I can do anything about that. I might just need a new one. But I just drove it around outside, warmed it up, and they changed the oil on it now. First oil change. I'm gonna pop the seat off. And your oil tank is right here. And what I'm using, I got this on Amazon, I'll put a link below. I did call the dealership and this is what they recommend. Polaris PS4 4-cycle oil, it's 50850. I read a good bit of forums about this. A lot of people use a ton of different AMSOIL products and stuff like that, so anything will really work, but I'm going to use Polaris. So the oil's pretty bad. It probably hasn't been changed for a long time. So I didn't want to run it too much, but I had to get it warm to change this out. So let me read the manual. Polaris Ranger service manual. Let's see where the oil drain's at, because I couldn't find it earlier. Alright, for all you nerds out there, we have the Ranger 4X. This is the 4X oil and filter change. They used to run a 0840 in this. From the dealer, when I talked to them, they say now it's 50850. But that's what I'm running. Run whatever you want. So this engine, since it has a dry sump, it's a little more complicated. And I think they did that just for clearance. You know, high ground clearance, and so the engine would fit under the seat nicely. So what a dry sump means is the oil doesn't splash lubricate on the crankshaft from below. This actually has an oil pump, and I'm pretty sure that's gear driven off the crankshaft. I haven't really got into that yet, but this is your oil reservoir, so it's external to the bottom. There's no like oil pan. There probably still is a pan, but it's like really small, not like you'd see on a car, right, where it's splash lubricating the crankshaft. So on the bottom of this, there's a drain bolt, and I'm going to drain that. So this engine has an oil filter right on the side, right there, you can see it. Straightforward, regular oil filter change, except it looks like because of the belly pan, you got to put rags in there to catch the oil. Second thing you have to do is there's a screen filter in here somewhere, I'm not sure yet, but you have to take that off and clean the screen filter, and you should replace all your O-rings, and you can buy a new screen filter too. I'm just going to try to clean it. Then you actually have to prime the oil pump, and there's a whole procedure in here. Because it's external, you have to prime it, and what that does is bleed any air out of the system. So you have to like pinch off this top hose, and there's a whole little procedure. I'll walk you through that as I'm doing it, but right now let's just get this oil out of here while it's warm. Okay, so we've replaced the filter and drained the oil. Now if you look on the back here, there's a pipe going into the bottom. What we're going to do is loosen that clamp and then rotate that off with a wrench, and that is our screen fitting, they call it. And it's basically just like a bottom screen, and because that plug had so much junk on it, I'm definitely cleaning this. So what you do is you clean it off, and then you could replace it, but I'm going to clean it. And then here's the directions. You can freeze frame that. Basically, you want to apply thread sealant to it, rotate it a minimum of 2.5 turns clockwise, and then you rotate the fitting clockwise until the nipple of the screen fitting aligns with the marking on the tank. See figure 3, which is maybe on the next page. Oh no, there it is right there. See that line on the tank there? Yep. So you want it in line with that, basically in line with where it was from. And then you put that oil hose back on. So I think I'm actually gonna take this side panel off. Well, actually maybe not, but it's so rusty I don't want to deal with all the screws like up in here. I know there's some up here. So yeah, but that would make your life 100 times easier. I'm gonna try it without that and pull that sump fitting off. Alright. Okay, so I got it out. I used a crescent wrench. And so I'm going to clean this with carb cleaner and clean in here and then put some new thread seal in here. This actually doesn't look as bad as I thought, but I guess I can't really see inside, so clean it off and get it back in there. Alright, so got it all cleaned off now. Blow it out with air, a little carb cleaner. And I'm going to apply this pipe thread sealant, because that's essentially what it is. It says PTFE, but this stuff says it's can be used with oils or water. This stuff's pretty nice actually. So we'll get it on there. And install it 2.5 turns and then line it up with the threads. Okay, so we're on the right side of the engine, and if you can see right there, that is the lower engine oil drain. So there is a good bit still in there, so I'm gonna let that drain out. I might even lift up the thing from the other side to let it drain with the jack. And I'll wipe all that oil up. The drive shafts are in pretty good shape. The rear splines here are a little messed up, and I think that's the e-brake. And the guy was like, yeah, the cable's broken. I think there's a whole caliper thing that's supposed to be there that's gone. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a conversion disc, but yeah, this cable goes right there and then it's broken, so that's weird. And then this is our transmission, and they JB welded the crap out of that. So that might be something to do with why we're shifting weird. I need a hose clamp on that, and my boot up there for the carburetor is really cracked, so I'm gonna order a new boot. Get a hose clamp on that. I'm not going to tear into this right now because I want it, drive it in low, but I am going to pull that oil fill and check the level to see how bad that transmission float is, if it's been grinding gears. At least want to change the fluid on that. So yeah, we might be draining that right now too, so we'll see. There's another thing right there. It looks like a drain, but I don't know why that would be there. Secondary drain, because this is all the transmission in here. I don't know. Alright, let's do that. Okay, so I've got it jacked up and oil's draining. I gotta catch that spill. This is the cover for the belt drive system, and I use that goop on it because it looks like it's worn through there and there, and they put these little patch panels. So I'm gonna order a new seal for this and let that goop do its job. But I just found something very bad. These bearings and suspension are totally gone. Like way, like that is a ½ inch of play. And I got a little bit in the lower control arm there, but it looks like most of it's in the bearings. This rear one, I was like, oh, the rear will be fine. Nope. Oh, same thing. So it needs all new hub bearings. So, and an e-brake thing. And oh, let me show you where it broke. The sway bar linkage broke. Right there, you can see it split in half. So I think I'm gonna try to sleeve that. It's an off-road vehicle. Not too concerned, but yeah. Yeah, we're still dripping oil, so I'm gonna let that drip for a little bit, get a hose clamp up there.